My name is Val Bergman. I am here today to discuss equal pay for women versus the pay that men receive. Since the beginning of the time, since women were first allowed into the workplace, they've always been paid less than men. Back in like 1900, women would work in factories for 5 to 10 cents a week, where men would make 5 to 10 cents a day. Granted, men usually had harder jobs back then than women did. Typically, women weren't allowed to do jobs men did until later on, past 1950, after World War II. During World War II, women took over the factory positions, basically all the work positions, while the men went off to war to fight for our country. And during that time, it was brought to the attention more and more that women are able to handle jobs that men do on a daily, regular basis. However, the pay was still never the same. I personally believe that if a woman is doing the same job as a man, why shouldn't she get paid more for it? The only thing in my mind that I can come up with that would make this okay is if the man has been at that same position for years longer than the female has been and has gained pay raises over the years, then I would understand why a man would make more than a woman at the same position. My mother worked in construction when I was younger, and she had, I think, 15 years of experience doing concrete work, breaking up, using the machine to break up the concrete, mixing the concrete up, pouring the new concrete, laying that down. She had all this experience, and she barely made any money at it, while the boys, the 19-year-old, 20-year-old boys that would come join the company she worked for, they'd do nothing more than hold a sign, the slow sign or the stop sign, and they would make 3-4 times more money than she did, and it's unfair. It just is unfair. In 1963, the federal government passed the Equal Pay Act. This made it illegal for an employer to pay men differently than women for the exact same job. The Equal Pay Act was amended later, about a year later, to coincide with the Civil Rights Act, which stated that the employer cannot pay unequal wages for the same amount of work. They cannot deny women transfers in the workplace or hold them from moving up in the company. Promotions, wage increases, and segregation, keeping the women away from the men in the workplace and still not paying the same. In 1963, that became a law. Now, a lot has changed regarding that law. It has helped, but even today, a woman makes 80 cents for every dollar that a man makes doing the same job, the exact same job. I did some research regarding this with the NBA versus the WNBA. In 2012, Tamika Catchings was the WNBA's MVP, and she was making between $3 and $4 million that year, plus her endorsements, which would bring her total income up to around $9.6 million for 1 year. In that same year, Kevin Garnett of the NBA made $291 million in that 1 year, and that is not counting his endorsements. Well, here's the kicker on this, in my opinion. This woman is this amazing basketball player, and I understand that the NBA has, they have a lot more ticket sales, a lot more fans, it's a bigger organization, it's a lot more popular. I understand. However, this Tamika Catchings had better stats and played better, missed less shots, and just overall was a better basketball player in 2012 than Kevin Garnett was. Yet he's making like $300 million more than her a year. That's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know that, it gets better and better as far as the equal pay goes. Women are making more. They're becoming more adept and popular in the workplaces. But I also don't think women stand up for themselves and actually fight for the right to make the same amount of money as a man does in the same position. I encourage women to stand up for their wages, go to the meetings, go to the town meetings, make your opinions heard, because until women really stand up and really make a fuss about this, it's going to continue on. Hopefully it doesn't take another 100 years for us to get equal pay for women all across the board, all around. And I understand the point of view as well is that the women have to take off work for starting a family, the pregnancies, the doctor's appointments, taking care of the children. But more and more men are becoming stay-at-home fathers where women are going into the workplace. Well, and if that's the case, that woman should be making just as much as the man in the cubicle next to her. And I hope this helps open up some eyes and makes women out there really realize that we need to all stand together and fight for equal pay for women. Thank you.